Hey everyone, Adam here. So, I haven't made a video in a few days, just the weekend and the 4th of July and my birthday on the 5th, and not getting any sleep on my birthday, um, and then having to work a 12-hour shift on my birthday and, my party and all that. So I just have not been, very able to make videos. Um, So I released my big tell-all blog post about how I was bulking while drinking about, 3, 4, 5 liters of Coke a day. Um, and, I laid out my diet and my exercise plan and everything that I did. And the end result was that I had gained 35 pounds, of which about 20 was muscle or lean tissue, to be precise. Um, and of course, it got some traction on Facebook. People started sharing it around. And today, I discovered that, of course, hooray, I've made it to Reddit. And naturally, there's already a 51 comment thread of people being so butthurt about it. And, I don't know what to say. There was a lot of people saying that it's impossible. Well, it happened. I did it. So, deal with that. There were people saying 20 out of 35 pounds is not an impressive bulk number. Um, yeah, I'm sure that if I had eaten better, I would have, gained a little bit more. It should be noted that Alex Hormozy, who first did this program, he also gained about 35 pounds, and in the process, for him, about 25 of that was lean tissue. So, maybe that difference was genetics, maybe some of it was diet. But back even then, people were like, that's crazy. There's no way that he gained 25 pounds of muscle. Um, so, the fact that people are, like, there's no way that you gain 20 pounds of muscle and or that 20 is shit. Um, A, I did, and B, yeah, it's not the best thing in the world, but it's a bulk. Who cares? Like, I put on muscle and I'll lose the fat later. That's that's how the world goes round. Um, there were also a lot of people who seemed super butthurt that I seemed really weak. Basically, they were like, looking at the numbers on the program and saying like, oh yeah, a 220-pound deadlift for 10 reps, that's impressive. Sure, your 220-pound deadlift. I guess I didn't make this clear. My numbers before this bulk at 195 pounds were 405 squat, 325 bench press, and a 555 deadlift. Um, Naturally, there's like guys in the thread who are like, going like, oh yeah, I'm 220 with less, smaller numbers than that. And that doesn't make any sense. And it, I was probably stronger than all you guys to begin with, so whatever. And this is leading into a strength phase, so here we go. That's next. Um, so yeah, like it was just typical like this doesn't mean anything. We don't know what we're talking about. It's just keyboard warrior stuff on the internet. But it brings up a topic that I want to discuss. That it's just don't judge people when they're in the gym. No matter what. Don't judge a fat person because they're in the gym trying to lose weight. That's shitty. That's stupid. Um, don't judge like don't judge someone for using a light weight. You don't know what their 1 rep max is. You don't know what their training cycle looks like. You don't know why they're training. You don't know for what purposes they're training. Like it really annoys me when you see all these videos of like bodybuilders like deadlifting for reps or whatever, and they're like, oh look, he's deadlifting like 200 pounds for reps, and for example, and like, yo, that doesn't say anything about what my 1 rep max is. I'm not even training for my 1 rep max because I'm doing a bodybuilding cycle. Like they always use that as like evidence that, proof that bodybuilders are way weaker than powerlifters. Well, bodybuilders just don't train that way, and or they don't, they're not doing training videos where they 1 rep for you so you can see it. That's not the point, like that's not why they're training. And so, like, you know, like, there's plenty of bodybuilders that are hella strong. You know, like, Ronnie Coleman was a hella strong dude. Like, it's like Stan Efferding is a hella, like, what, where does that come from? Why do you feel the need to look at what weight somebody's using at this very moment and say, hey, you must be weak because the exact weight you're lifting right now is 200? That could be a warm-up set. That could be, God, no, it could be anything. Like, why is it that you see like one person, you know, lifting a very specific number and you say that must be the maximum limit of their potential? You don't know that. For all you know, like they could, like just shoot up and, suddenly their deadlift is twice what it used to be in a month. I put on 100 pounds on my, not 100, but like 70 pounds on my deadlift in a month. Like these things happen. Like it's so silly. It's so silly to think, just that people are judging other people for just, the way they, how, what they do in the gym, what they look like at any given time. What, like fitness is a constant, it's a constant chaotic movement. You're going up and down in various qualities. Some things are getting better, some things are getting worse. Like, okay, it's fine to make fun of somebody maybe for doing something silly, like if they're like doing some kind of exercise that doesn't benefit anybody, or they're doing one of those goofy cable things that like isn't gonna help anybody do anything. But 9 times out of 10, if someone's, and maybe if they're lifting with bad form, that's about it. 9 times out of 10, if somebody's doing something, they know what they're doing. They're doing what's best for themselves, or like they're doing what they know to be, like as far as they know to be best for themselves. Don't make fun of them for it. Either approach them and say, hey, listen, like, why are you doing it this way? Do you know if there's a better way? Is there any specific reason that you're doing it this way, etc. Don't just like make fun of them from afar, like, oh, look at that guy, he has this weird form on his squat, so he must be squatting wrong. Like, I remember back in the good old days, like, I used to think that low bar squats were just doing it wrong. Like, I don't know why I thought that. It's kind of silly, but again, like, it's just so silly that people feel the need to hella judge other people for being in the gym training. That's the other thing. Gym is training. You're preparing for something. You're preparing. You're not there yet. That's the very definition of why you are in the gym, because you are not there yet. You are training to be there, wherever there is. Whether it's on the field, on some kind of sport, whether it's because you're trying to get big for bodybuilding. Like if you judge a bodybuilder for being fat when they're, on a bulk, like what's the point of that? They got to do it, and then they got to lean out. That's just how it works. Like, what's going on there? What are you thinking? If you're judging someone because they're like on an off-season cycle where they're focusing on some kind of like some other kind of quality that they don't normally train, just to kind of build their base of general physical preparedness. You're like, yeah, if you toss me on a treadmill, I'm gonna huff and puff and look like an idiot. But like, that doesn't mean that I can't lift a heavy weight. That doesn't mean that I don't have muscle. Like, fitness is specific. It's very specific. It's whatever you're training right now. That's what that's what you've got. And so it's silly to like judge someone by a metric or by a definition that isn't what they're training for. If I wanted to find some weak people, I could go into any yoga class and be like, ha, look at all these people just training for flexibility. If I wanted to like see some inflexible people, I could go outside of that. It's like you can always find somebody who doesn't have whatever fitness quality you like. So like, what's the point? Why? What's going on there? What's that? Why do you need to do that? That's you're a hater. You're a fucking hater. So yeah, this is my reply to that Reddit thread. But it's also my reply to haters in general. Just stop judging people. Why do you feel the need to do that? Anyway, so that is it for today. As always, like, comment, subscribe. and I will talk to you guys later. Good night.